It says you're live. I guess you're live. Welcome. How we doing on the sound? Let me just double check this. What's happening, everybody? Oh, we're all by myself. A little pregame. All right, we're good. Turn that off. We're good. Welcome, 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 everybody. Welcome to the Happy Oyster Show. I am your host, Bart Burke, and we have a special pregame broadcast today. Isn't that exciting? Yeah. A lot of action on the new land-based tumbler that we're building. I put up a Instagram photo, and a lot of people are wondering when is it going to be ready, and how are you going to power it, and all of the above. So to make a longer story longer, I'm going to be out on the bay. Shh, don't tell anybody. For a live broadcast at 10 o'clock, or at least close to, out on the bay. I'm not going to be in the shop, and I promised a couple of people that I was going to show you the new land-based. So here we go. So I'm by myself, just kind of getting my shit together. Welcome, Soundtrack. Hey, good morning, good morning. So, you know, you guys are special, man. You guys are such great fans. I love it. While I'm at it, while I'm showing, I might as well go over some gear stuff while I'm at it. Doing some marking on some buoys and whatnot. Somebody said before, you got to clean up your shop. You look like a shithole. Yeah, it does. So anyway, I'm labeling out some buoys here and using some new products, paint markers, Sharpie, Milwaukee, Inksol. They make this monstrous Magnum Sharpie. This thing is huge. Brian, what's going on? You can definitely get a shout out, Brian. What's happening? So, Magnum Super Sharpie. These buoys are not going to be left out there for long durations, maybe, a couple of days at most. Sometimes we're pulling stuff, we're looking, we're checking. We might want to clip up a buoy on and mark it. These are not going to be designed for long-term markage of the plot and or cages. It's more just some orientation stuff when we're kind of sniffing around and checking it out. But they make a whole bunch of different ones. I'll have a full review on this later. That's all I got for you on that. They smell incredible, these paint things, all right? I'm just going to leave it at that. I'm really not into that, but, some people like the smell of gas. Oh. I'm kidding. All you children, this is not kid-specific anyway. So, kids are not supposed to be watching this, according to YouTube. All right, enough of the jokes. That was a bad joke. All right. Land-based tumbler, sorter, pruner. They work. Tumblers, you should have one. If you don't have it on your boat, you should get one. Build one. Here's some of our ideas. We have one on our boat, and it works great. It's for certain size. I need something for smaller, for seed, for stuff that's this kind of size, all right? I have a piece of that over here. It's a thin 1/4 inch, 7 millimeter if you want to get exact. And down here we have our standard 1/2 inch wire, which is what our cages are. I took a piece of tubing. This was sitting around out in the weeds somewhere. I had another one. Another one is way out there. You can see it out there. It was a tube that was sitting in the weeds, as you can see here. And then I built a roller. Zoom in over here. How did you cut it? How did you do this? How did you do that? All right, well, here you go. It was laying in the weeds in half. It was obviously a problem. It was a mistake. Somebody was building a flupsy and they drilled the big manifold holes in the wrong place, and and it sat out there for probably years and years and years, and it got all faded. And, hey, Bart, you want this? Sure, I'll take it. All beat up and nasty and shitty. So I squared it up. I put it on the rollers right here. Shit. Now we're in trouble. That way? I'm sorry, guys. Guess what happened? You can only guess what happened. Hang on, hang on. How about now? Sorry about that. Quickie thumbs up, please. Everything's good? Check, check. All right, where was I? Squaring it up. It was all kinds of nasty and beat up, and I used a circular saw. Now, what I did was I put a couple of rollers down here on the bottom. This is not the scale. This setup is going to have to change a little bit. We're going to have two different operations, two different cylinders to be able to go on to here. So the first thing is just get some rollers and put it on there, and just so that you can roll the thing. Just like that. It's smooth, man. It's smooth as silk. This is real close tolerance here, but you get the idea. So now what do? How'd you cut it, Bart? All right, well, I was born with a circular saw in my hand. And if you're careful, and two-person operation, okay, and you set the blade right, okay, and you hold the blade back for a half a second, this is dangerous stuff, okay? Same thing here. I held it back. Somebody held this very carefully. You cut the slots out with the circular saw. It works phenomenally, okay? Real simple. Just be careful and go slow, all right? Now, come to our other one over here that we did. You could also drill holes in it with a hole saw. That does work. That's what we used on the boat. Our boat is used out of the same material, not the same diameter. Our boat diameter I save everything, just for testing purposes. Everybody wanted to see what the heck was going on with this tumbler, so. This is our old boat diameter. It's huge. This is 18-inch. I did have a tape measure. Here it is. This hole is 15. These are 15-inch, and our old one is 18-inch, actually 19-inch outside diameter. This is 15-inch outside diameter. Considerably smaller. You can use a hole saw like we did here. Hole saw blows right through. This is one of the sizes on our boat. This is the other size on our boat, and the smaller one is not here. Actually, we cut it off. There's part of the half. But I was using this to test how am I going to fasten this wire to here, and a stainless steel fender washer with a 3/4-inch number 10 pan head screw with the proper size hole. Doesn't matter if it goes all the way through. It's going to be okay. You only got a small little baby hole. There you go. In there that you can either epoxy up or whatnot. I do not think I'm going to leave this. Let me turn, all right, hang on. Let me slide that down. Turn this over. Stand by. Having technical difficulties. Not really. Probably going to not use this all the way around like that. Going to just picture frame this out and then screw that in like we were talking about. That whole excess will be gone and it will just be nice and neat. And then I'm a little bit concerned about where the edge is going to hit. So I've got some special two-part epoxy that I'm going to gook on there so that the seed doesn't get caught in between the wedge, the lip. On the bottom, what am I going to do on the bottom? On this next hole size, again, we're not. I'm going to picture frame it out, and we're going to take a piece of aluminum like this. Just rip that down. It's a little thin, 1/8 inch. I don't even think it's an 1/8 inch, maybe even a little less than that. Aluminum. We're going to take this and put this. This can be cut on a table saw. Again, be careful when you're doing this stuff. Slow and steady, and it cuts like butter. Okay, it works. You could do it with a circular saw too if you don't have a table saw, I'm sure. But clamp it down good. Get everything set. Don't be stupid about this, okay? You can really hurt yourself if you utilize your tools wrong. Where am I missing? Oh, I used a router on the inside, a 45 flush bit router bit. Let me show you what that is. Another dangerous piece of equipment, boys and girls. And remember, safety takes no holiday. You know, I still have all my fingers and toes. Thank God. Here's my old router. This thing is ancient, but it works. And that's a 45 with a, see, it has a little bearing on the end of it, so that when you set it on the edge, you can just run it right down and it just takes the 45. It was a little tricky because you've got a curve and a convex and concave and whatnot, but I was able to get it pretty close. And then I just took a disc sander with a nice coarse disc sanding pad on it and just kind of smoothed it out after the router. So again, I wanted to chamfer it. I didn't want it butted 90 degrees because this stuff is thick, man. It's 3/4 of an inch thick. The seed would just get stuck in there and it would just be a mess. So that's where I'm at with that. Ding, ding. Drive. How are you going to drive it? Okay, that was that's Freddie is working on that. What we're going to use is an electric 110 motor, so that way we can use this anywhere. Then it's going to be pretty mobile. We're going to have two different. Obviously, we're going to have two different barrels. We'll do the same thing with that one, but we'll make different size mesh. I'm thinking probably a little bigger, maybe. I'm not sure. I want to see how this one works first, and then we'll go from there. Driving it, we're going to use a gear reduction. How are you getting a gear reduction? Well, we're playing with this a little bit. It's going to be a little bit of an experiment. The motor needs to run at the same speed all the time. In order for an electric motor to be efficient and do its thing, it should run, boom, you plug it in and it turns. And that's it. It's at that speed. If you start to adjust the electricity to that motor to make it spin faster or slower, usually faster it's going to blow up, but slower it will work, but it really lugs on the motor and it's not very efficient and it's kind of bad for the motor and it's just not going to last. So if you can figure something out where that motor spins at the same shaft, and then physics, here we go, the old bicycle and the gears and the big ones and the little ones and all of that, we get it down to the amount of RPMs that we want. We're starting with an old boat winch and we're going to start there. You'll see all about it. We'll show you where we're going with that. We want to drive this with a flat serpentine type belt. Something fat, like off of a car. We're using some car pulleys. Again, junkyard has come into handy here. You got to use your innovation for some of this stuff, but it's well worth your while to put a tumbler on your boat. I can't emphasize it enough. If your boat is big enough, you know, look, this thing is, you know, what, 5 foot? We can make it smaller too, if you had to. We're always looking at different material. We're always doing it on the cheap, man. They get a lot of money for these things. And, you know, if you're a farmer just starting out, you want to make good, you need the thing, but you can't outlay the money, so you gotta make do. You're a farmer, as my dad said. Farmers they do make do with whatever they got. They can make something out of nothing. So be a farmer. There you have it, guys. I'm sure I'll have some more updates on that. We will be going live at 10 a.m. today. I'm not quite sure where we're going to be, either at the boatyard. It's starting to clear up nicely. I got ice. I got my rags are all rinsed out. That's where all this laundry's going on. So we're good for that. I got ice ready to go. Getting the fish totes, the buckets. Getting ready to have an awesome, awesome, awesome day out in the bay. So I hope you guys join us at 10 a.m. live each and every single Saturday. This has just happened to be a special broadcast. I can't believe we got 9 guys watching. Thank you all so much for the big one, the big special. The support from you guys is just outstanding. It helps me. This is what makes me tick, sharing it with you guys. I love you guys. Thanks again for tuning in. We'll see you at 10 a.m. If there's any other questions going on, maybe you can hit me up during that. It might be a little bit tough. Good morning, Josephine. See you at 10 o'clock. A new fan. Thank you so much. And I got nothing else for you guys. I want you to be cool. I want you to be kind. I want you to be happy. Mwah. I love you. And, of course, eat me. We'll see you at 10 a.m. Adios. Are you sure? Yeah, I'm sure.